My people, wonder they say shall never end. Hey, according to what we are hearing, they said Ebony might leave the marriage very soon, because the matter right now is tie wrapper. According to what we are hearing, the Ebony have reported the king to the elders over what is happening between her and the king. They said the king have told Ebony to return back to her base. But Ebony refused, saying that nobody will push her out of her marriage, that the palace belongs to her and therefore she goes nowhere. Then they said she wanted to start a firm. She's into accounting. So she wanted to start a kind of accounting firm in Lagos, in Lekki. And they said the place that she found where she will establish the business is a very big place, and they have charged her 180 million for 2 years. you know so at least that place she will have enough space for the accountants, for everybody. The place is going to be big, and she wants to start the business in a big way and all of that. So they say when she brought the what do they call it, when she told the king about it, the money that is involved and everything, they said the king told her that, look, you see this place, it is different from where you're coming from, because they said in UK where she is based that she is working with a firm, another person. She's working under them, although they say she have a share there. Then she wanted to establish her own here, where she will be in charge. Then the king told her that the way it works there is not the same way it works here. You cannot go for a very big apartment like that. It's not even an apartment. It's like a very big warehouse. I don't know how to describe it. Or a building, a full building. They say they will have to rent that place. Renting, no, is not buying. Renting 180 million for 2 years. And the king is saying that you are starting this thing newly. You have not done it this side, so you can't tell exactly how it works. That whenever you are starting a business like this, you have to start it small. Maybe rent an apartment, with that apartment, maybe apartment that have like 3 rooms or 4 rooms and a very big parlor or a hall. That would be better than renting a whole building for 180 million. That it is too much, and you don't know how the business is going to do, if you'll be able to keep paying the money after the first 2 years that the king will have to invest on it. Because the king said a real businessman doesn't bring out money from his pocket to pay for a house the second time after paying for the first time, that the business have to yield the money and all of that. And they said the king is telling Ebony that he have been into several businesses more than you. So if you want to start this thing, you have to start small. When you start small, the thing will be going bigger rather than starting big. Then you don't know how it will go. If you did not do well, it will be a waste of money. That a real businessman or a businesswoman doesn't spend such amount of money. That it is small, that it is too big, that she should go and look for something small. So that is what they said the king have told Ebony about the business. And if you look at what the king is telling her, it is just the right thing, because the king is serious businessman. He knows how those things work. You have to start small. If it is doing well, then you keep adding money and all of that. So after the king told her about that, Ebony did not accept it. She was angry. Then when they said Ebony entered the place where the king built for the jewel, hey, they said the kind of money that he spent there, that it count, if it is not up to 1 billion naira, that is almost 1 billion that the king invested in there. As it's not even an investment that the king puts in there. It's not an investment because it's not going to be yielding any money. No, it's just to make his jewel feel good and feel royalty and all of that to the fullest. They said all the Oloris that entered there, they came out crying to tell you how the king put so much money in there. So when Ebony entered there and came out and saw that, they said Ebony, that night that she entered there, that day, she did not sleep. she was just murmuring to herself, talking to herself. Why would the king be this mean to her? This, that. What did this girl have that they don't have? What is this? What is that? They said that is what she was talking to herself all through the night. And that is the main reason she have decided that since it has gotten to the point that the king will invest everything he has for this woman, for the jewel, and could not do even 180 million, because to the king is a small money, but we should know that he is a businessman. He will not invest in something that will not yield times two of the money. So that is how they said, after Ebony visited there, Ebony started making so much trouble. Oh, you have such an amount of money to spend here that is not going to be yielding any money, but you cannot give me 180 million to pay for the house that I will use for a business that will still be yielding money. That is how they said the wahala started though. Then the Ebony went and reported to the elders that the king will have to settle her since he is no longer interested in the marriage and all of that. But come to think of it, it wasn't the king who said he's not interested in the marriage. Even though left for the king, he will say he doesn't want again. But in this case, in this particular case, they said it was Ebony who said she will not do again. No, that she is tired of this kind of marriage. Why would she be in a marriage where the king values and respects Jewel more than her and all of that? But she did not know that when a housemaid turns to a wife, she can only reign for some time. When the original wife take place or come back, she will lose respect and everything. In as much as she will be in that marriage, she will still be the maid that she used to be. Anyways, that is why they say Ebony started demanding that the king will have to settle her with a £500,000. £500,000 and a mansion in UK. That if the king did not do that, that the palace is going to be very hot for her and for him and everyone, you know. And I was like, hey, Bonnie, why don't you walk away? Why don't you go and build your own empire? Because whatever the king is building, he is building it for the queen and his son. Even though you have a son for him, but your the first son count first before every other ones. So they said Ebony is now running helter-skelter, meeting elders, having meetings upon meetings. Why the king will have to settle her? Because the king have so much money to throw around whenever it has to do with the jewel. Even when the jewel did not ask, the king will put money on him or her and do all of that. But when it comes to her and some of the Oloris, she will know that he will know that the money is too much. He cannot put his money there. This, that. They will have to go and do it themselves. After all, they have the money. That he did not believe that the jewel have her own money, even when the jewel is making so much money. But when it comes to them, that is when the king will know that they are making money. But for the jewel, he will do it without her asking. And I said, that is true love. That is what love does. Anyway, guys, that is what we are hearing. Oh, the Ebony have decided to leave, but the king must settle her. Allegedly, that is what we are hearing if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye for now.